Hi, and welcome to The Bright Balloon, a podcast where I'm sharing bright ideas for your balloon business. My name is Sarah Meyer, and I'm a balloon business owner like you, and I love the creative side of what I do, but I really love the business side, which seems to be the part where most people struggle. So I'm here to help. Each week, I'm bringing you an episode full of bite-sized tips you can use to make improvements in your business. I want you to make more money, eliminate stress, and learn along with me as we grow our creative businesses together. Welcome to The Bright Balloon, presented by 17 Hats. Hello and welcome to another episode. Today I am chatting about what I do to prepare to be away from my business. So whether that is a family vacation or attending a convention, or in this case, I'm actually preparing to host the Big Balloon Build. So I have been planning this for a year and a half, and it's finally here. Stuart and Liz are arriving from the Big Balloon Build today. They're coming right now, and the rest of the artists are coming in 4 days. So it is here. I have been planning this event for a year and a half, and now is the time. So I need to prepare to actually be focused on that event, not only so I can give my attention to things that need doing, but also so I can enjoy it. Like, I want to be able to enjoy this event, and there's nothing that ruins my enjoyment more than an overflowing inbox or people emailing me and feeling like I have to get back to them right away. So I like to do a lot of laying the groundwork before I leave so that people know what's going on. And I'm going to chat with you about some of those tactics that I use. I have been at conventions where people did no preparation to be away from their business, and you can tell that they're really missing out on the education provided at the convention. Or when they're on a family vacation and they're on their phone the entire time trying to frantically put out fires back home. So I really like to completely unplug and give myself that much needed break to truly be away from my business, not just kind of pretending to be away. So let's take a break and hear from a sponsor, and then I'm going to get into concrete strategies that I use, like the step-by-step things that I do every time I know I'm going to be away from my business for a few days.
Wix, Squarespace, GoDaddy Builder. These are some of the most common starter website platforms in balloon decor. You've probably built your website from the ground up to what it is today. But now it's time to figure out where to go from here to attract more visitors, more business clients, higher-end private parties, and to generate more sales. I'm Jeff at Balloon Suite, and I'd love to help. We provide a website consultation that gives you the exact steps we would take if we were coming from the exact position you are in, and we were looking to double the amount of revenue your business is generating. Pause this episode for just a minute and check us out at balloonsuite.com, and you can get your double website revenue consultation on the schedule.
All right, let's get into it. So I am preparing to be away from my business, and here are the things that I've done to help eliminate some of that overwhelm, either phone calls or emails or people reaching out about their upcoming jobs. I really like to get as much of that off my plate as possible so I can enjoy myself when I'm away. So the first thing that I do is protect my time before and after events. So the minute I put a convention or this big balloon build on my schedule, I really protect those weekends before and after the event, because I have made that mistake so many times and squeezed in an installation right before I'm supposed to catch a flight. And it is bad news. Like, you're trying to pack, you're trying to get excited, and you still have to think about balloons. It's kind of a pain in the butt. And then vice versa, I know I'm not the only one that then tries to book installations as soon as I get back. So if I get home on a Friday, I have been known to then fill that Saturday, and it's just not worth it. Getting back from wherever you are and trying to get tapped back into your real life that same day, inflating, prepping, you just don't want to do it. And I know that we feel like when we're going to conventions or we're going on a trip, it feels counterintuitive because you're spending all this money that you think like, well, I need to take all these jobs because I need to make this money back. But every time I do it, it backfires. I get home and I don't have what I need. I'm stressed out while I'm on my trip trying to add last minute orders, or customers are reaching out for a confirmation that I forgot to send because I'm not paying attention. And it is always, always a recipe for disaster when it comes to my business. So I protect the time right before and right after when I want to be away. It's almost like I extend my vacation by a day or two on either end, because it takes me a while to get that energy back. I'm pretty exhausted when I travel, and I just feel every time I do this to myself, I'm so mad at the Sarah of the past. Like, why did I book this job? This isn't worth it. What was I thinking? So I really, really protect that time, so that I can get excited for my trips and I can digest my trips when I get home and take a break and a breather, and also have a little bit of family time. Actually, speaking of this accidentally happened to me the last time I went to Balloon Boss Summit. I was there for the week and my family was flying down to meet me to go to Disney World. So we tacked on a Disney vacation after the convention, or after Summit. And a hurricane hit. So we weren't really affected in Florida, but the airports were shut down on the day that my family was going to fly in. So long story short, we rescheduled our entire vacation, but I couldn't reschedule my flight. So I was just stuck there for an extra 3 days. And I say stuck, kind of using air quotes here, because it ended up being the best thing ever. I really go all out at conventions. I love talking to people. I love learning. I love applying things. I love it. And sometimes that in itself is pretty exhausting. So having those extra days built in to truly relax and reflect, it was the best experience ever. It couldn't have worked out more in my favor. Unfortunately, my husband was stuck at home with a 3-year-old for 8 days. But for me, it really, really helped. I think I was able to get a lot more out of the event because I had time to truly reflect on it. And it was kind of great. A few other people were stuck there too. And we had some of the best conversations just in those extra 3 days. So I think from now on, I'm actually going to build in an extra night after events, especially when I have to fly, because a lot of times it feels like there's a big final night, but I have to fly out at 9 a.m. the next morning. So there's almost like this dark cloud over my head. Like I'm thinking about that when I should be enjoying myself. So I am going to build in that one extra night and use it to sleep or pack or think about the stuff I've learned, and building in that extra time is always really, really valuable. All right, let's move on to the second point here. I like to make sure that my shop is in order before I leave. My mom used to always do this. I grew up in a very cluttered house. Like there were always just piles of things. I'm the same way now. But before a vacation, my mom would go on this like cleaning spree. It was almost like she was nesting. And now I kind of do the same thing, especially when it comes to balloons, because it's such a nice feeling to get back from a trip and have everything put away. There's nothing worse than coming home to a messy shop or a messy house or, dishes that you didn't run through the dishwasher. So I like to try to get a jump on all of that stuff before I go because it makes coming home a bit easier. Now, the other thing that I do is client communication. I warn my clients that I'm going to be slow in my communication. I am a quick communicator. That's something I pride myself on. I want, instantaneous replies to their emails. I want to be the fastest, easiest person to work with, but I give them a warning that I'm not going to be that person over the next 10 days. So how do I do this? For the big balloon build, even though I'm not traveling, I'm not going anywhere, I'm going to be unavailable. I don't want to put myself in a position of setting up business calls or guaranteeing that I'm going to get back to people in 48 hours. Like it's just not a reality because I have so much going on over the next week and a half here. So how I actually warn my clients about my slow communication is first on my website. So before they even fill out my inquiry form, I add a little thing at the top of my website and I say, due to the big balloon build happening this week, communication will be slower than usual. Please still fill out the form, but just know I might not get back to you right away. That does two things. It warns them that I'm not going to respond right away. And in this case, it also is another opportunity to tell them about the big balloon build. So I'm actually kind of promoting at the same time. I also go and I update my auto response in 17 Hats. So this is the email that automatically triggers once they submit the form. Typically, it says, here are your next steps. I'll respond within 24 or 48 hours. It gives them the whole rundown of what to expect from here on out. So I actually went in and changed that text. So again, it says, please note, due to the big balloon build, communication will be slow and I will get back to you the week of the 26th. That buys me a little bit of extra time. Now, one thing that I want to mention here is that my autoresponder is updated. I do not put on an away message on my email. And the reason that I don't do that is because I don't want people to not fill out my inquiry form because they think I'm away. I want them to learn that after they already did fill out the form. And sometimes when people have away messages on, you actually get a preview notification. Like if you are emailing like within Outlook, it says before you even send the email, it tells you that person is away. So sometimes I will not send the email. I want all those emails. I want those requests waiting for me. I don't want to turn them away or turn them off, but I want them to know that I'm not going to respond right away, which is why I put that information in the auto responder, not just an away message that says, hey, I'm not in my office. I still want them to have those updates. I want them to know what the next steps are, just that it is going to be a little bit slower. So on the same note, one of the things I do not do is put up an out of office. So this is on email, but I also see people put this up on like Facebook and Instagram. They say like, hey, our office is closed for this week. We'll return all emails when we get back. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I personally just don't, because again, I don't want people to think, oh shoot, I needed to reach out to her, but oh, she's not even in the office anyway, so I'll do it Monday, because they won't do it Monday. They will forget. So I just like to take out all of those barriers, and I like to have people still sending me emails, even though I'm not probably going to respond right away. All right, what else do I do? Another way that I warn my clients is with a newsletter email blast. So email marketing, you know that I love it. It has been working really well for my business this year. And I've started thinking more of my email marketing as like a newsletter. So I think of those people as my friends, even though they might not be. And I want them to know what's going on in my life, because that builds a trust factor. So I do an email newsletter out to all of my clients, all my former clients, anyone on that list, and I let them know where I'm going, what I'm doing, and then also I tell them my communication is going to be slow. And the reason that I do this is because most of the time, what I'm doing is balloon related. I might not do this if I was going on like a family vacation, but 9 out of 10 times when I'm away for a long amount of time, it's because I'm going to a convention, or I'm participating in Balloon Wonderland, or I'm hosting the big balloon build. Those are all really cool things to tell your clients about. Like, it's basically like you are putting out your own little mini press release. It gives you an opportunity to brag about your the education that you're investing in. It's very cool if you can include photos. It leads into a perfect follow-up email when you get back. People love knowing the weird stuff that we do, right? People have no idea the cool balloon conventions that we go to. So I think looping them in on where you're going and what you're going to be working on, that's a really great opportunity to send an email. And I just do that through MailChimp. MailChimp is changing, however, so I might be switching over to Flowdesk. It's Flodesk. That is the email platform I use for podcast emails, and I might be switching my Wisconsin balloon decor business to that platform as well, because the rates are pretty good, especially compared to these new MailChimp rates that are coming out that seem very high in my opinion. So more coming soon about email marketing, but I think having a list, having a way to contact your clients and tell them where you're going to be and brag about your continuing education is a perfect time. The perfect time to do that is right before you attend these events. All right, let's take a quick break and hear from a sponsor, and then I have, 1, 2, 3, 4 more tips for you, ways that I prepare to either be away from home or just offline and away from my business. Now that the seasons are changing and the weather is getting warmer, at least in Wisconsin anyway, my clients are starting to party. They are getting ready for wedding showers, baby showers, graduation parties, corporate summer events, and the orders are coming in, which means that I have to be ahead of the game when it comes to my balloon inventory. I don't want to turn down those last minute profitable jobs, but I also don't want to pay a ton of money on shipping and be biting my nails wondering if my products are going to arrive in time. So I am stocking up and I am shopping at Having a Party Wholesale. They have all the new colors that have just been released. They make it very easy to shop and show you the available quantity right on their website, so you know that what you order is what you are going to get. They have super fast shipping and they are a great family-owned company. So if you're looking for a place to place your next balloon order, I highly recommend Having a Party Wholesale, and you can check them out at havingaparty.com. All right, welcome back. I have a few more tips that I want to share about how I unplug and actually enjoy and focus on my time away from my business. So next up, I schedule social media sometimes. This one's kind of like a caveat. I do it sometimes because certain things, like if you think about this podcast, I am going to pre-schedule social media posts for that. However, I'm not scheduling very much for the Big Balloon Build because so much of what I do for the Big Balloon Build is going to be broadcasting it on social media. Like as the host, that is something that I am in charge of. And I think stories and things that are actually easier to do on the fly aren't worth scheduling. It can actually make more work for yourself. So if you feel like you have to post every day, if you post certain things on certain days and you have a routine, use a scheduling platform to schedule those so they can just go live when you're away and you don't have to think about it. So that one is like a sometimes yes, sometimes no. It's whatever works for you. Obviously, if I'm going on a family vacation, I'm not going to be doing a bunch of stories. So I might schedule something, but you know that I don't think social media is the end all be all. If you want to still look active, there are scheduling features out there. I really have been liking Canva because it is totally integrated with the entire platform. They have a scheduling feature, and later.com is the other one that I use. All right, next up, and this one might sound a little bit OCD, but I swear I'm pretty low key when it comes to packing. I'm quite a minimal packer, but sometimes that backfires. So this would only apply if you are going somewhere, if you're traveling, say a convention. This isn't going to apply if you're just taking a week off at home. But this comes down to getting all your laundry done, planning your outfits out in advance, and then packing those items. Sometimes I just feel like I bring a variety of clothes and then like I don't have enough socks and I'm going to wear tennis shoes every single day, but I didn't anticipate that. Or I run out of logo t-shirts and I really wanted to wear one every day. Or sometimes I'm too casual and I didn't anticipate going to a nicer restaurant, or sometimes you just want to change and not feel like you're in a worker's uniform every day. So I plan out all of my outfits, and the thing that's going to sound OCD about this week is that I'm actually doing that even though I'm staying at home. So I'm making sure that I have clean logo shirts for every single day, that all of my pairs of jeans are clean, that I have a pair of socks for every single day, because I'm going to be waking up at like 6:30 every single morning. I'm going to be photographed a lot. The news is going to come. I'm going to be in videos. I don't want to have like a dirty shirt and a thrown together outfit that, you know, I didn't take 2 seconds to pre-plan. So I like having all of my laundry clean, and then that kind of piggybacks on the idea of having a clean shop and a clean house when you return. There's nothing worse than getting back in the swing of real life and realizing you have no clean clothes, you have a ton of laundry waiting for you when you get home. And that's just kind of in the same vein of like housekeeping, like prep so that you are in a good spot when you return. All right, speaking of that, let's talk about your actual balloon orders. I like to order all of my balloons for events after I return for like the next couple of weeks, because even though I protect my time, like I don't want to come back from an event on a Friday and then do a job on a Saturday. But even if I don't have a job until Tuesday, that's not a very long window of time. That's not enough time to get back in the swing of life, look at my inventory, prep my jobs, realize I have to place an order, and for the balloons to get here. So I like to look out and kind of forecast what the next couple weekends are and order all of those balloons before I go anywhere so that they're waiting for me when I return. You don't want to manufacture an unnecessary crunch time situation. If you just pre-think and you get 2-3 weeks out, you'll be in a lot better shape when you return. All right, and my last tip. This is for the, yes, I'm away, but are we ever really away? So I really like to be unplugged when I'm on vacation or when I'm at a convention or for this big balloon build. However, I don't want to just ignore great inquiries that come in. So even though I've told people I'm going to reply slowly, even though they know I'm busy, even though I'm technically away, I do still check my email pretty regularly. I glance at inquiries that are coming in. If somebody has a request for one garland in 3 months, I'm probably not going to respond to them right away, but we all know when we get those leads that are too good to pass up. If someone says, hey, we have a corporate event, the budget's $5,000 and it's in 3 weeks, are you available? I'm not going to sleep on that, right? I'm not going to let that sit there and say, well, I said I wouldn't respond for a week, so they should just wait. I'm still going to take that job, which means that I'm probably going to be responding on the fly on my phone. So a couple things are set up to help me be able to do this. The first is 17 Hats. So I'm going to talk about 17 Hats a little bit more at the end because they are our presenting sponsor of this podcast. Thank you to 17 Hats. So a lot of my automations and emails are already saved in there. However, I will sometimes write out special responses and just save those in my notes on my phone so that I can copy and paste. So something like, I'm away right now. You probably got my autoresponder, but I do want this event. Please count on me. But I will respond like later tonight when I'm away from this convention, or I will follow up with a mock-up in 3 days, but yes, please count on me. Or you could even say, I'm absolutely available. I can't send you details for a couple days because I'm out of town. Here's where you can pay your $100 deposit to book your date, and then we can figure out details later. So whatever that wording, it's almost like an emergency booking, right? Like you get the perfect client and you don't want to let them slip. I type out a little response and I just save it in my notes on my phone so that I can just copy and paste it into the body of an email. So that is like the most bare bones way of using templates. All right. My daughter is now having a full lecture in the other room, so if you can hear her, I apologize. But with that is the end of my tips. So real quick, let's just review them. First, I protect that time before and after I'm going to be away. I don't want to set myself up for crunch time. I make sure to reorganize and put my shop back together so it is a nice place to come home to. Same thing with my house. I warn my clients that I'm going to be slow to communicate, so I put a disclaimer on my website. I have it in my autoresponder on 17 Hats, and I do not put up an away message or do a big post saying I'm out of the office. I still want those inquiries to come flowing in, even if I'm a little bit slower to respond. I do an email blast to my followers, my clients, to let them know where I'm going. Sometimes it's cool and it's balloon related, and I want to share that news. I put a few scheduled posts out on social media. I get all my laundry done. I prep my outfits for the week so that I'm not left wearing, sneakers and a dress or no socks and like in a bad situation. I like to have all that stuff thought out. And I order my balloons for jobs 2 or 3 weeks after my return. I order those before I even leave so that I'm ahead of the game. And then in an emergency, I have a response saved in my notes on my phone so that I can respond really quickly to emails, even though I'm not going to be fully engaged. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do. When that dream client comes in, you want to be able to take it, even if you are a little bit checked out. All right. And with that, I'm officially signing off and focusing on Big Balloon Build Week. It's finally here. I'm very excited to share how it goes, what I learned, what I would do different. All of that is coming in a future episode. But for now, I just want to be very present and enjoy this awesome experience. So with that said, if you email me, I will be very slow to respond over the next 10 days so that I can enjoy my time with the 75 visiting artists coming to participate in the Lake Geneva Big Balloon build. All right, I will talk to you in the next episode. Thanks for listening. As usual, I tried to keep it bright and light. If you are interested in bonus episodes, check out our Patreon group where I release an additional episode every single week and you unlock more than 50 archived episodes as soon as you join. Check out the link in the show notes wherever you're listening.